Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. For today's card project, I'm very excited to be trying the Lovely Layers Sleigh Bell die set from Honeybee Stamps. It's part of the new release. Comes with everything. I did look on their website to see how people were using it, and I really did like what they were doing, but I wanted to do my own thing, so I did something a little different. But loving this set. And then I'm using Simon Says Stamp embossing folder, the filigree snowflakes. And then for my paper, all of these are from cut cardstock. It's Cougar Smooth, the Lasibo, I think that's how you say it, Amazon, the Glitter Silver, which is amazing glitter paper, and then the Pop Tone Snow Cone. And I do have another one that I'm using, but I don't have it labeled, and it's called Pearlized Textured White Wedding Cake. And it has a nice little sheen and a nice little texture on it. So let's get started. So to get started, I embossed my card base with a Simon Says Stamp embossing folder. It's filigree snowflakes, and it's gorgeous. So ran that through my embossing machine. It turned out so pretty. And now I am pouncing ink on the pine cone. Sorry, words are hard today. And I used vintage photo and gathered twigs to do that. And now I'm doing the greenery, and same thing. I'm just pouncing color on because I don't want it fully saturated. I want a little bit of the white to show through because I'm looking for a frosty white card. So now to get a little dimension, I'm just coloring with my C8 marker, Copic marker, where the design has cutouts so that there's a little bit of depth and dimension. And now I'm going to assemble everything, just gluing everything together. This card is so easy. It's just using what you have and just gluing it together to make a special card. So assembling the bell, I will say, even though this glitter cardstock, it's silk glitter in silver, is fabulous to work with, the glue takes about 10 more seconds than regular paper to grab. It's a little bit slippery at first. So the magnets help a lot. And now the bow, assembling the bow. And now I'm going to assemble my first card. So this is the hanger, getting that centered onto the card. And this is Lasibo Amazon blue paper. And so putting the bell where I want it so that I can tuck the greens in underneath it. And I did kind of arrange them ahead of time and took a picture so I know what I'm following. I'm looking over at my camera occasionally, making sure I'm following what I wanted. So the greenery, it comes with 3 different dies for greenery, 2 larger pieces and then a smaller piece. So I cut several smaller, and then I believe I add a couple larger too. So there's probably 5 or 6 pieces of greenery. And then the holly leaves I cut out of this pearlized texture white wedding cake paper. So it's got like a linen texture, but it's pearlized. So it goes with the frosty feel I'm trying to have on these cards. The only pop of color I want is the blue. I don't want any real deep color. And then I'm sorry, I just lied. The warmth of the pine cone, I wanted that to be a little bit of color too, just to warm up the card a touch. So we are using the good old 3M foam because I don't need to put extra postage on when I use that, because none of my Christmas cards this year are going to need extra postage. So adding on the pine cone, and then we will put the bow on the bell. And then I'm just going to let all of this glue, it's not done, I'm going to let all of that glue set up. So now here is a different design using 2 bells, otherwise exactly the same. I mean, a little more greenery, but everything is exactly the same. So when you're creating these cards, you can cut, a bunch of greenery out, get them colored, bunch of bells out, get them adhered, so you can mass produce this card. It looks like you fussed forever, but these cards were pretty darn quick, I will say. I mean, once I figured out what I was going to do, it took me an hour to do everything, and I was watching TV while I was doing it. So not that long, and I got 5 cards done, and each one is a little bit different. I either added different backgrounds, added an extra bell, changed up the sentiment, that kind of thing. And you'll see all the cards I made at the end. So adding foam tape onto the highest bell or the top bell, whichever you want to call it. And I did want it angled a little bit. There we go. So now I'm going to continue tucking greenery around. I didn't push really hard on the foam tape so that I could continue to lift and tuck. Just a little bit of foam tape on the pine cone. I love that the pine cone has 2 layers. It just adds so much. Especially when you're looking at it in real life, just a little more dimension. Okay, got the bow added, tucking in those opal-y holly leaves. And now I'm going to add what to me looks like juniper berries. They could be holly berries, but I'm making them juniper berries. So adding it to the greenery so it looks like juniper. And then I do, on the other cards that I make, use the berries just as sequins. So adding one more piece of foliage here, and then we're going to add the juniper berries here on the greenery. And then we'll get a sentiment going for these cards. Yep, just wanted a little bit more. I had extras even after making the cards, so I tucked them in. I love that each little branch looks so different than the other. There we go. Going to add 2 more berries, and we're going to move on to our sentiment. So I am using Spellbinder's Christmas Cheer Sentiments in my Better Press, and the ink I used was Catherine Pooler's Daydream. And I do need a shim when I use my Better Press. I'm just going to flip it over. That first round worked out great, so now I'm going to make 2 more, so I have them for my cards. So there's my 4 sentiments. So now I'm trimming these down to 3 3/4 by 5. And so that one's going on an embossed snow cone panel. And it's embossed with the same embossing folder that I used, the filigree snowflakes from Simon Says Stamp. And I kind of like the white on white. I got to tell you, the double bells is my favorite out of all that I made. My husband couldn't pick a favorite, but for me, the double bells is my favorite. So I'm using the Holly Jolly. I have a Holly Jolly Christmas because there's holly on these for both cards. I'm redoing it. That's the story of my life. Can't get anything lined up. And we're going to get the sentiment on there. So now I'm going to make the card bases because I ran out. So I am using Catherine Pooler's white cardstock to make my card bases. That's my favorite for that. It's 100 pound. So do you see how it doesn't, once you score it, or use the bone folder once, it doesn't pop open? Sometimes 110 is too thick and it keeps popping open. On Catherine Pooler's, if you get a good score on it, it'll stay closed. All right, so here's the cards we made together. Aren't they so pretty? So the silver, again, is the silk glitter from cut cardstock. All my cardstock is always from cut cardstock. And then this is snow cone. And then this is the cougar smooth white. And then this, with a little bit of texture and opalescence, is called pearlized textured white wedding cake. So it adds to that frosty feel. So made those, and then the embossed backgrounds, you can kind of see it here. I also did the blue embossed with this Simon Says stamp filigree snowflakes, and it's just beautiful. But the star of the show is this Honeybee Lovely Layers Sleigh Bell die set. It's just got everything, so it's everything you need. I mean, just even the little berries, like I think they're of them as juniper berries. I think they're perfect. Just adorable. So we made these two together, but you know, you got to get cards done. So I die cut extras. So there's this one, and then these two as well. So this background is from the Greetery, and it's the Nordic frame dies. It's the middle size. I think that's really pretty. There is some white, let's see if we can get you to see it, stars on the background. It's not catching. I think you can see one right there. But so there's that on there too. So there's a little bit more to that background. So yeah, I really love how these came out. I'm loving this glitter paper. I don't have glitter all over my hands. I have ink and glue, but no glitter all over my hands. So, and it die cut beautifully. I didn't need a shim. I didn't need anything. So that is incredible. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.